class here at the Life School, and today I'm hosting a free masterclass for you. Everything talking about how to align your purpose and profit towards a independent company. Hi there, I'm Ilona Lipari, and I help companies scale their purpose and their profits. Before I begin sharing some great information with you, I'd like to just share my screen right here and get right into action. So, scaling your purpose and profit towards an independent company. If this is one of your goals, then again, thank you so much for being here, and also thank you so much for watching this free masterclass here today. So, all right, so we're going to play the slide here. Again, before we begin, I just want to give you an introduction of sort of who I am before we dive right into the amazing information today. So I'm the founder and CEO of the Life School, Fortune 500, prior Fortune 500 executive CEO, best-selling author to numerous books, and also a professional speaker, podcast host, event and community organizer to over 30,000 seasoned entrepreneurs and CEOs. And then, of course, I've been featured on many publications such as CEO Weekly, Disrupt, Business Insider, The Business News, and New York Weekly. Most importantly for me, then the accolades of the journey, it's all the growth and all the experience that I've gained to be able to really be aligned with the thing that I really feel that contributes to the world the most as far as it relates to my journey, which is really the challenge for a lot of entrepreneurs that are very purpose-driven, that have a clear purpose around the work they do, they believe in the work they do, and also through that, they want to create meaningful change towards others through the services that they are offering, so they could create a positive influence into society. So that is my bigger mission and why I do the work that I do. And most importantly, when it comes to the profit piece of your company, these could be three of the main pain points that I see that you might be also experiencing, which is lack of clients and consistent cash flow in your company. The profit piece is lacking, lack of time away from your business. You might be at the scale stage of your business, and you might really be struggling with moving away from your day-to-day operations of your company. And of course, you might lack the time that you might be needing for other areas and priorities that you have in your personal life. And the third one is lack of scalable knowledge or strategy. Whatever took you or got you at a certain phase and stage of your growth might not necessarily be the thing that's going to get you to the next level, because I know how easy it is to just get stuck into certain things that you've had the know-how for the longest and you've been able to implement, but in order to get to the next level, you necessarily might not know the how or the right strategy to follow to get to the next level. So those are three of the main pain points that you also might be experiencing as well. And of course, you might be looking for the opposite. You might be looking for consistent clients, consistent cash flow, supported business model for scaling. You might be obviously looking for time freedom to work on your business and not inside your business, so you can have time for family, health, relationships, hobbies, activities, all the other things that really fulfill you in your personal life. And then profitable income to reinvest in your business and other areas for higher ROI. We all know, that's why I focus so much on the profit piece, that in order for a company to be independent and self-sufficient and always generate and continue to pay its people, continue to create more sales, continue to be reinvested into, obviously you need a structure and a foundation so that you are always kind of recycling your investments in your company and focusing on the right activities and areas so that you can get a higher ROI, not only on your profits, but also on your time back. Because I really think that when we talk about profits, we also have to consider time, especially for entrepreneurs and CEOs. So those would be the three things that you might be looking for. So now the first thing that obviously we always begin, and I always begin when I do anything I do is really get the clarity around what is the most important personal values, company vision, and mission that you're after. Because unless this is aligned, then every other operational activity that we will do inside the company or the business is just going to be a mismatch, and you will be making the wrong decisions. And then obviously wrong decision making will lead to the wrong results. So it's always important to craft and understand how this aligns with what you're trying to do at a bigger scale. The next one is shifting into long-term visionary CEO mindset. Again, working backwards, working with the end in mind, working on the right priorities in the business based on your long-term goal that you have in building your company that is independent and self-led, and working backwards. So understanding what that big vision is and then making those decisions backwards so that you are, again, kind of staying very aligned in your own trail of journey of your business growth, whatever phase and stage that you might be in, so that you can get to that next level. And then the third one is aligning your business model with your current stage of business. That's another very important piece, because maybe the business model or the offer that you had or the offers that you've had or the markets that you've served are no longer the things that are going to help you meet your profit goals or your business goals. Or you might be looking to create more time freedom. So maybe the business model that you were using to serve your clients is no longer going to be sustainable when it comes to you wanting to grow the company. So aligning that is really an important piece as well, because the thing that I've seen in my experience with helping companies scale is the misalignment of their business model. They don't have the right focus on their business model positioning at the different phases of stages of growth. They could be focusing on, they could be undercharging, and they could be focusing on a business model that's more for one to many rather than quality, right? Or vice versa. And there's really always two ways to be able to align your profits with your offer, is either charging more for what you have or just getting more clients, right? And working with volume. Those are usually the two things that, we can do in order for us to upscale our profits. Branding is always where, everything begins, because unless you're focused on building a brand, then you're just like a salesperson with a position code, selling something, right? And when it comes to building a brand, it's always, again, the bigger vision behind why you do what you do, the bigger mission why you do what you do, and how that affects others, and what is the main problem that it solves for others. So that's kind of how I would define branding. And of course, the components of that are, positioning yourself in your expert authority, in your niche, especially if you're in the service industry. You can align your personal branding with your company branding as well. And it's important to do both, because we are living in a, environment now with the digital age where people want to see the face behind the business. So it's important to understand how to do that. The other one is positioning your problem, solution, process, and the result and the offer that you have to offer to a client, a potential client, and positioning that really strongly in the marketplace, with also understanding what is your unique value proposition is really, really important. And again, at every evolution stage of your company, you will need to reassess these things. So this is not something that we do once and we think that we are done. It's something that we continuously evaluate and we continuously keep a focus around. Position yourself, your ideal audience, and your messaging or your market in the marketplace, or whether you're serving business to consumers or you're serving business to business client opportunities. Again, being clear on your market is really important, because everything obviously whoever your market is will dictate a lot of your the other things that I'm going to talk about will dictate your marketing, will dictate your sales, your processes, your operations, your focus, your team, all the other components of building again, self-led company. Content strategy to increase visibility and trust building. I don't think we kind of can get away from this anymore. We're at the level of stage, and stage with AI and the outside environment where this is just a given. I mean, staying visible, creating content, but also having a strategy behind all of that is just really good ways to do business. And if you're not creating content, you're really nowhere. Not only are you leaving so much money on the table, but you are really hurting a lot of your survivability of your company. Then the other one is podcast starting and growth strategies. That's another great channel if you'd like to level up your branding. Book publishing and growth strategies, good for your personal brand, good for your company brand. And then media features and speaking strategies. Again, these are great for positioning, but also great for visibility and great for brand building and great for your overall business model and positioning, right? Because of the high value perception that all of these different things have in building your authority and your brand. These are all great things to consider when it comes to your branding. Now, the next thing is your marketing. And marketing is really the traffic, right? Getting the right people, getting in front of the right people. Once you have a lot of clarity on the other pieces, which would be your business model, your messaging, and your market. The next one is the marketing piece, meaning how do I now get in front of these people that I want to serve? Building your ideal audience online and offline, and continuously to build that and add traffic to your company. Build trust with your ideal audience by adding value. We all know how trust is crucial, especially in the service space, which is all about human relationships. Unless we build trust and we do this by adding value, then we can't even move along the process for the rest of the pieces. Creating systems in the business to continuously support income stability and growth is really important because, again, we do want to have things that we put in place so that we can have predictable results and we can count on those. Building and expanding a strategic network of warm audience proximity, having a strategic network, partners, people that you can collaborate with is really important, but also having a strategy around that and how that aligns to the bigger business mission and vision is really important as well, because again, these are things that need to be nurtured and implemented inside the operation. So it's really important to have a macro level view, but also the micro actions that we could take to align these. And then organic and paid marketing strategies. Once you clarify the messaging, the model, and the market, then we know which marketing channels to leverage. And I always say we start with the organic and then we go into paid. Because obviously, if it's, we want to leverage all the free opportunities which are available, and then we can go to paid opportunities as well next. All right, sales is all about, again, moving your prospects along from your marketing into a sales conversation, into closing. And this is, of course, very important because this is where the profit piece aligns, and we actually have a metric that is very connected to the profit piece, right? Unless obviously a client is closed, we just can't create the revenue and the sales that we are looking for. So, and they all connect together for sure. So creating a step-by-step repeatable sales process to convert your relationships or prospects into clients and your fans is really important in your business. Mastering the process of authentic hard-led selling is crucial because, again, you can have lots of traffic. Your marketing could be working beautifully, but if you don't have the right process of sales in place and know how to actually close, then that would be your gap. And that's where you want to take a look at, solve the right problems, right? Because maybe it's not your marketing that needs help, meaning your lead generation, but it could be your sales processes. And then doing that the organic, authentic way. Building a sales ecosystem around the business that generates and consistently closes clients is important because it's not one thing you do, it's all the other pieces in your operations which really lead to the same thing. Building a referral and upsell system in the business to retain current clients is also very important because, again, it's not only who we bring in the front door, but also how do we keep people in the back end, meaning in your service delivery. after people are going through your business model and that transformation they're receiving, how are we now keeping people in the back end happy, satisfied, growing, evolving, and then upselling to things in their ascension journey that could be relevant to sort of the problem that you are solving for them. And then, of course, my love language, systems, because to me, systems means freedom. And I like my freedom. That's really why I got into entrepreneurship. That was one important thing for me, but the other one was to do meaningful work that I loved and I cared about. So when those things are connected, systems are the things that, you know, we do to implement, to scale, right? To move ourselves from a lot of things, to get the right people on board, to get the right technology on board, the right automations on board, so that we're working smart and not hard. Implementing automated systems to support repeated tasks, implement automated systems to support sales and marketing, and then implementing SOPs, standard operating procedures in the company for anything that's a rinse and repeat, so that we have playbooks for things that we are always doing in our operations, so that eventually we could scale it to another person or our teams. And that's the only way to get to the next level with our systems. And then lastly is the team, right? The people, the human resource, the people resource, hiring, onboarding, support team, the right people in place, hiring and structuring current leadership and operations team, hiring strategic partnership opportunities, and then again, hiring, onboarding, and training current teams so that we develop a top talent pool within our company, so that again, you know, we can have a great leadership structure that people can move into, so that they can fit under your big vision, your company, and there's always growth opportunities that you're offering for people to that are high performing, so that you can create that high performing culture within your company. And those things need to also be very strategic, because again, you know, once you create a healthy culture in your operations, then having the right focus on all these steps as far as your team is concerned, not only for the top talent piece, but also for the high performance piece, it's also very crucial in, again, scale. Usually the companies that I work with, I always recommend, depending on what stage and phase of growth they're in, that if you officially just 100% want to move yourself out of the company, to hire a administrative assistant, to hire someone in your sales, to hire someone in your service delivery, someone in your marketing, and then a leader that oversees everyone else. So by doing that, you have kind of covered all the small little departments. Maybe you were in that level, so that you move yourself out of the business so that you can business develop and continue to scale the vision of the company. So this is kind of in a nutshell. I just wanted to create this slide to put together some of the most important pieces in the process of scaling, which is looking at your business model, your marketing, and your messaging. This is kind of what we use to help companies scale. Identify marketing channels. As I said, once we have the three pieces for number one, we get into the second piece, which is now what are the marketing channels to get to the market that we want to serve. The next is crafting prospect and customer journeys. Again, everything's got to be intentional. Once we have the channels in place, then we want to be very intentional and very clear with the prospect journeys to closing. And then also your customer journeys, the back end that I mentioned. Where are your current customers going? What is that ascension journey for them? How do we ensure that we're getting business from them, referrals, connections, upsells, and all of that. So that doesn't happen by chance. It's got to be very intentional. Fourth one is creating automated systems and standard operating procedures and playbooks. That's the other part, which is important operationally. And then hiring the 5 most powerful hires that I mentioned a little bit before this slide, which is, you know, important in being very strategic with where we position the people, so that you can continue to scale and continue to business develop. And then number 6 is rinse and repeat to scale. right? So wherever you are in the journey, we kind of rinse and repeat a lot of these different things, these steps to new business model, new offers, new markets or current markets, right? So that you can continue to grow your company. So that's our company scaling process in a nutshell. All right, just some testimonials, some people that I've helped before. Corrine, health coach. We worked with her, just like you see here, implemented a lot of these different pieces in her program, and she was able to scale at the next level, even higher. And then she was able to to help more people in their health transformation journey and, quadruple and triple her sales and her profits because of the right priorities being put in the right place, so that she was eventually working on the right things and then getting support with the profit piece. Another one's Tammy, self-love coach. I love the mission of self-love because I think that's the most important work that we can do as humans. And same thing with her, was able to clarify a lot of these different pieces in her company. She's just doing too many things. She didn't even know, where to begin and how to put the puzzle pieces in place so that she had a structure that's operating. And then she was clear on the model of messaging and her market, and then was able to implement the other pieces towards doubling her sales as well, and continuing to scale with the mission that she has and to continue to grow the company that way as well. And then Brenda, loan and credit restoration specialist. The thing that we work with Brenda the most is team strategy and positioning, and also her business model. The business model she had was not really sustainable for what she was doing. So we strategized with a business model that was more, then we increased the price of the service to attract a better elevated market, and then reposition what she had, and then implement the other pieces of the marketing and the sales systems. And then she was able to upscale and level up her team and even higher. So that's also another person that we worked with. And you're going to have similar results in your journey of scaling your purpose and profits towards a self-led company. And then there's more testimonials on my website, AlonaAlpariCoaching.com, and on my LinkedIn profile. So I definitely encourage you to visit those, kind of hear from the mouths and the experiences of, people that we've been able to gain trust and really serve them and transform their purpose and their profits. So where do we go from here? If you really found that this information was helpful, I hope that whatever I said added value to you. I would love to jump on a free discovery call with you, which is actually very limited because my calendar is always full with the people that, we're looking to support. And obviously, depending on where you are in your business growth journey, we'll take a look at what you've built and kind of where your vision is. So I would definitely take advantage of the limited spots on the calendar for just a 30-minute conversation to kind of see where you are and see where you want to go and kind of what are some of those gaps that you might be experiencing where, you don't know what you don't know, right? So getting the right information and then deciding from there whether I could further support you or we could further support you or not. I definitely would encourage you to take advantage of this free 30-minute discovery call. So I will post the link to the calendar right underneath this training. And I want to thank you for coming on and watching. And again, I hope the information was helpful and definitely not overwhelming, as I know sometimes when you build a company that is self-led, there could be a lot of moving pieces, a lot of different things that it feels like so overwhelming that you're focusing on a million things at once. However, it really, there's a theme to the madness, there's the methodology, there's tried and proven methods to scaling. So I hope that I was able at least to organize a lot of the different things that you might be doing in a million directions and give you the foundation and the structure that you need to know, okay, here's where I am, this is the right problem I'm solving. And then this is where I'm moving into, because the last thing about entrepreneurship is that you're always solving the next high-level quality problem. So it's not necessarily you moving away from problems. It's really solving the right problem and moving along to elevating the problem-solving abilities that you have for yourself, your teams, and your company. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.